How do you get your wedding guests through a buffet quickly? I'm gonna tell you. I just shared this with a Pick My Brain client, and I thought I would share it with all of you. I am really good at doing this, and I received lots of compliments from caterers and venues, etc., about how fast I can get guests through a buffet. And this is also a place where if we're running behind, I can like make up time and get us back on timeline. So I'm going to tell you how I do it. The first thing is it's going to depend on your guest count and your layout. But the basic is if I have maybe 50 guests or so and below, a single one-sided buffet is just fine. If for that amount you want to do a double-sided buffet, it'll be even faster. But I say above 50, double-sided buffet is the absolute minimum to keep things like trucking along. If you get into the 150 and up range, I like at least 2 buffets or 2 double-sided buffets. And just talk to your caterer about like being efficient and refilling food and just keeping an eye on that buffet so that it's not just sitting empty and guests aren't like, hey, the salad's out. Make sure that they're like up on that. And you might not need to if it's a really small guest count or whatever it is. Okay, the next trick is how do I release tables? One, I release tables myself. In my experience, when a DJ releases tables, people just don't hear it. They're not listening, they're talking, things are loud, he's making announcements, and they just don't hear it and they just don't listen. So I think a person walking from table to table is going to be the most efficient way to get people to listen and get up and go to the buffet. Now, this is where if you have a professional planner or you have a coordinator, this is going to be really, really beneficial. But if you don't, find someone who's going to serve that purpose. Maybe it is somebody from the catering staff. Maybe it is your DJ, but you ask them to go table to table. I don't know what it is. I have never seen DJs do this because I do it, but I would ask if there's someone who could serve that purpose. Next, how do I do it? So let's say in the case of a single-sided buffet, here's your table, here's your buffet. And let's say here's your item. Say it starts with a salad and then there's a side and an entree. Okay. So you have people walking through the line here. The minute the last person in line leaves that first item and moves to the next item, I release the next table and I'm keeping an eagle eye on it. If it's a double-sided buffet, I'm releasing 2 tables at a time. If it's 2 buffets, depending on your layout, I'm working with a teammate to release either 2 tables at once or 4 tables at once, and I'm releasing 2 and they're releasing 2. And that's in the case of it's a double-sided. So say you have 2 double-sided buffets, you're releasing basically 4 tables at once. But I'm watching my buffet, and my teammate's watching their buffet. Now, what do I do in the case where the buffet's in a different room or in a hallway or like around a corner and I can't see it? Then I'm having a teammate stand by the buffet and either let me know on the walkie-talkie that we're ready to release the next table. Or before I had walkie-talkies, I resisted walkie-talkies for a really long time and it was really dumb because I love my walkie-talkies. They'll flag me with like a big thumbs up. I'll be watching for them and then I'll release that next table. So there's a way to do it if you don't want to invest in the technology. But that's basically it. You can keep that timeline trucking along. You don't lose time with guests just dealing with the buffet. And you also don't deal with nobody knowing what's happening, everyone in a long line. Nobody likes that. Nobody likes to just stand in a buffet line not knowing when it's going to be their turn. That's the worst. Happy wedding planning.